Oh, hey guys. Welcome back to the Flyway. Pretty excited to put this together. We've had a ton of questions over the last year and a half about like, okay, how do I tune a duck call? How do I blow a quack? How do I put together a greeting series? How do I blow a goose call? So this series that we're gonna put together, it's gonna be all sorts of different videos having to do with that exact thing. All the questions you guys have been asking, and we're gonna try and answer them to the best of our ability to make you guys a better caller this season in the field, help your buddies out, kill more ducks, kill more geese, have a better time. So, all right, one of the most asked questions we get all the time, and for good reason, is how do I tune my own duck call? It's great. I think more and more people should try to tune duck calls for themselves, try to find that perfect tune that fits them. What I want to do here today is show you how I tune duck call. This is how we tune each and every call that goes out of the shop, and where we start, and then what we end up getting to. So what you're gonna need as far as like tools, cork's a big one. Get into blank reed. Grab your duck call. This is one of our, this is a Game Changer XL single reed. And then we use a razor knife. One of these, really, even like just a razor blade will work. And then this is the important part, sharp scissors. You don't want to be using your kids' craft scissors that they're cutting construction paper with. These need to be pretty high quality scissors that have a nice, sharp, clean cut. So first things first, we got to figure out what side of the reed has the natural bow or the natural bend to come off that tone board. Critical, absolutely important. If it's going the wrong way, you'll never achieve the right sound or like the most sounds you can get out of that call, because it's gonna be wanting to slap down on that tone board instead of lift off the tone board. So easiest way to do it, take your cork, take your reed, just put it straight up and down, and then push down. You'll see it has a natural bow. And what I do is I'll flip the reed around. It should be the opposite side now. Okay, so that confirms it. So this reed wants to bow up this way. So come up. So that, I'll put it to where it's bowing up off the tone board. And this is as easy as it gets. I'm literally just pushing it up against that cork slot. And then take your cork. What you don't want to do is put a dry cork in that cork slot. This acrylic, this is probably the weakest part of the acrylic, where it's been, machined down to that really super thin tolerance. So if you put a dry cork in, it can just boom, pop it right off. So I take the cork. It's as simple as literally just chewing on it for a little bit. Chew on it, make it real pliable, and then I'm just pushing it down nice and easy. Get to about as far as I can get down my finger, and then I'll take my knife, my scissors, and just push it down to where it bottoms out, right in the bottom there of that cork slot. So that's what it should look like. You should have cork hanging out of both sides of the cork slot. Your reed, see how it's pretty well centered there. And now it's ready to trim the cork off. So I'll take my razor knife, just be a little bit careful, and just push it up against that acrylic. If it's wood, you gotta be a little more careful, because you can trim some of the wood off the call. And then I'm literally just trimming that excess cork so you get a nice tight fit inside your call. And that's it. That's what it should look like right there. But that call, if I try blowing it right now, it's not gonna make a sound at all. Yeah, sounds like Daffy Duck. So now what you gotta do, this is the part you gotta be real careful with. You don't want to trim too much off. Now if you have extra reed stock, you just repeat the process. You literally put another reed back in and start from the beginning. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna say we're gonna take about a 1/4 inch off that reed, nice straight cut, and then we're gonna sound check it. So that's still what we call in the duck calling world heavy. Heavy means it takes a lot of air. So it's still real heavy. The opposite of heavy is light. So if it's real light, that means it doesn't take much air at all. And I'm literally now just gonna start taking off a sliver at a time. That's close. It's still a little heavy for my liking. And we tune most all of our calls out of the shop to be fairly light, because a lot of people that are getting them don't blow a ton of air right off the get-go. The more you blow, or the more you call, your lungs build up strength and you'll start blowing heavier. Okay, I'll take another little sliver off there. This should be pretty close, I got a feeling. All right, so I like the way that blows a lot. So I've got my length down, and now I'm gonna start adding the dog ears to it. And dog ears is literally up to your personal preference. You can put like a real heavy, like steep dog ear, on there, or you can do a shallower dog ear. This is my personal call. I put one that's pretty moderate as far as the dog ear goes. But yeah, we'll just start trimming that down until I get that tone and that rasp that I like. Yeah, so by putting this dog ear on there, you're increasing or decreasing the amount of like natural rasp that the call has. I like a call that has a lot of rasp built into it, and sometimes you take too much off, you lose some of that. So, but it's also, if you want like a real high pitch or like real what I would call like staccato sound, you can change the dog ear to get that as well. This is pretty much a middle of the road dog ear from what I would consider to be the norm. So I like that, just the way it's sitting right there. As you'll probably notice, like it started to kind of clean up there on the top, and then on the bottom it gets that real nice heavy rasp to it. So that's kind of our end result on how we tuned up that single reed. But yeah, don't be afraid of it. Like I get a lot of people that are super nervous to tune their call, and yeah, it takes a little bit of learning. But if you get a handful of corks, a handful of reeds, and start playing around with it, you'll figure it out pretty quickly. So. All right, guys, when it comes to buying like corks and reeds and whatnot, we do have them on our website as well. So if you go to bornandraisedcallco.com, like in our shop section, you'll see like maybe in accessories or reeds, we'll have reed kits with corks. So yeah, if you need to get some to have on your person, definitely smart to do so. One other thing that I wanted to add, a lot of people don't realize that they think a call like has gone out of tune. Yes and no. Like the reed itself, reeds will last a long time. I've had reeds that'll last several seasons. Corks though, as they get moist, dry, they start to wear out. Your call will start to go flat. And so that's something where all you're literally gonna do is you're gonna pull this reed out. So you're literally just gonna pull that reed straight out. It'll have your cork there. You'll toss the cork, and you'll repeat that process of adding a cork, but you'll use the same reed. So you'll just push your reed down flat, and then add a cork, trim it off. And I might there's times of the year where I might add a new cork every few days if I'm calling a lot. It really makes a lot of difference. It freshens up the call, freshens up the tone. So yeah, don't be afraid to change corks when you feel like the call just isn't quite doing what you want it to do. Hope this helps you guys out as far as answering some of those questions on how to tune your own duck call, and then something you can share with your buddies and work on during the off season, work on during the season. It's kind of fun to experiment with what the ducks react to. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good season.